Hello, soul family. It's really great to connect with you. And if you happen to be new to my channel, welcome. I'm Michelle, and this is Soul Insights and Tarot. So I had a request from a few people actually on my Patreon group, and they asked for past life reading. I actually did a poll of different readings. I'll do it also on YouTube. I'm very open to suggestions for readings. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at which past life is affecting you, how, why, and what to do. We're going to look and see how is it actually affecting you. I like to do these kinds of readings because I feel like sometimes there are other dimensional lives or situations, as well as past lives, that can be affecting us. Sometimes in very life-enhancing positive ways, and sometimes in ways that are just meant to bring an awareness to maybe release something or move on from something, or a pattern that needs to end is being brought to our attention. In fact, when I do past life regression work, I always bring it into what's going on currently in someone's life. So if you would take a couple deep breaths with me and align with me, and then I will pause the video. You can get a closer look at the cards, and we'll get into the soul story readings. So if you're in a place that you can, with eyes open or eyes closed, consciously slow your breath down. Take a deeper breath in through the soul star chakra, bringing your awareness about 1 foot to 2 feet above the crown chakra. Pause, feeling the connection to soul source energies. Breathing out, let the out breath be a little longer. And really feel the breath connecting in through the heart chakra, Anahata center, and guide it all the way down through the center of your body. Breathing back up in your own pace, breathing back into that soul star chakra, that natural pause point above the crown chakra, feeling yourself extending into the higher self, feeling your vibrational frequency raising, and feeling the heart opening and connecting. And the next breath out, breathe out a little longer, breathing out through the chakras at the soles of the feet. Breathing deep into the Earth Star chakra, feeling a heart expansion, and feel very aligned to the earth, very safe and protected where you are right now. Full body breath, including the subtle energy through the aura, breathing up past the crown, 1 foot to 2 feet, 3 feet above the crown chakra, connecting in through the higher self, extending into the ascension point, breathing back down through the center of the body, past the soles of the feet, connecting to the Earth Star chakra. Then bring your awareness into the heart lung area of the body. Take a pause. And when you're ready, choose the soul story through the stack of cards that calls you or you feel called to. For some it may be one stack, some of you it may be 2, and some of you, all of them, may hold a message for you. Hello, soul story number 1. We're going to look at this soul group and see what past life is affecting you and how, and even why. Already I'm getting a lot with the throat chakra, that there needed to be an opening or some kind of expansion. There could be some kind of disruption there. So I'm going to lay out the cards. I will show them to you, and then as they are referenced, I will hold them up for you. You chose the High Priestess. So this definitely has to do with, it's card 2 in the tarot. It's definitely about connecting into the higher self. It's also definitely about spirituality, but also past life, past situations. Also dealing with the subconscious mind. Also the unconsciousness of the all that is. So I like to say our subconscious mind is kind of our personal consciousness field, right? It's just below our conscious or rational reasoning. And through the subconscious mind, we connect into the collective unconscious or the mainstream consciousness and the consciousness of the all that is. There are these various layers and levels, and perhaps you feel that in your life now, that you have this connection. Maybe you don't quite know how or why, maybe to people's thoughts or feelings. I'm also getting that you are a bit of an empath. So there's a lot with feeling for you here. I'm getting also the 12th house, house of Pisces. So there is you do have a lot of past life energy. Maybe even what we call past life bleed through, where other dimensions or other lives bleed through this life. Maybe a lot of deja vu, or you meet someone and you think, oh, I must know this person, or I know this person from where, but where do I know them? And it could definitely be another life. You chose dimensional gateway. Wow. Okay. Leave these cards here. The archetype card is the teacher, communicating knowledge. I just kind of tuned in, meditated, and picked these cards. You've got completion and the curse. I see where this is going. I can feel the energy, the lifetime coming in. Flow. Well, that's definitely the High Priestess. Brigid, the hearth. And Hathor, celebration. Getting like Hathors. And then you've got illuminate the shadow. Wow, this is very clear with that High Priestess energy. Cosmic ancestors. Wow. Okay. Do you feel it, soul story number 1? I do. Soul fragments. Balance will be restored. The energy, Pluto, transformation. 12th house, completions, endings, the subconscious. Celebrate yourself. And then you've got authentic voice. I knew there was something with the voice. Okay, wow, we've got a lot of energy here. Then you've got solar eclipse, a revolution. Aries, I am. And first house, the body. Okay, wow. Then you've got let your friends help you. Now I picked these romance angel cards because I want to look at relationship or how things are affecting relationship, all kinds, healing family issues, and calling in your soulmate. All right. So before we even get to the tarot, let's tune in here. So I am definitely getting with you. For some of you, a few of you, this is a first incarnation, or you haven't incarnated a lot. Many of you, that's just for a small portion. Many of you have incarnated many times, and you've been in other planetary existences. and you're here to complete. So you came to wrap up a lot. You do come in as a teacher. Some of you could do that even now. And you're here to teach. I really get the way of authentic expression of being you, helping people become more comfortable with you, with themselves. Now, you had to learn this yourself, of how to be comfortable with yourself, how you are, who you are. So there could have been some childhood stuff going on that was very hard to deal with, whether in the family or with maybe schoolmates, right? School chums. Now, you have felt that your family has come in with some kind of deficit, or that you have this deficit and that it's been passed on. Could be a matriarchal lineage is what I'm hearing, of either not doing well or not doing well with relationship. So you have a lot that you've come in to heal and clear up, to wrap up. You are in a time of completion, whether you want to say completing your dharma, karmic completion. This is a completion of a pattern. You're ending a pattern for yourself, your family, and we would say also the humankind lineage, okay? You are also come in as an empath, and I feel it as a child you were an empath. You were very, spent a lot of time in nature, or wanted to be outdoors a lot, not held back. And I feel like you processed a lot through the body. For some of you, there could be childhood illness, or illness that came through. You learned through illness. Now, as you chronologically age, as you go through life on the earth plane, things are going to get easier. So I definitely feel that this was a big, harder beginning to your life, because there was some things that you still had to complete from a past life, and we're going to get into that. You've got completion here. Now, I am feeling and being shown that there was a part of you that was stagnant, that you could not, that was held back, that you could not reveal, and that you carried this lifetime, that you could not reveal this part of you. Now, for many of you, I feel because you worked perhaps with herbs or medicine, you helped people. Some of you had the gift of sight or even hearing, precognition, and the gift of receiving messages through auditory, through hearing voices. And I do feel that there has been some family members also, either this dimension or the other, or past life, this earth life or another life, that also had this gift and perhaps even shut it down. You have been quite advanced or precocious. You perhaps even at early age spoke your mind, or what you saw or what you felt, and you were taught to censor. So you are coming in at this time of this reading, and maybe this has already happened or happening for you, that you are releasing the constraints of what you have been taught to do as a child, and that carried over in school and also in some type of job or career where you couldn't fully be yourself. So you have had to illuminate the shadow, which, parts of yourself that you took on from other people, that you internalized from other people. Your gift is also about learning within yourself, learning from study, whether it's formal school or workshops, seminars, or just observing people. You're a great observer of people and situations. And so if you put your mind to something, if you really look at something, then you're able to understand it, perhaps even help others understand it, and then also move beyond or move through a situation to not repeat the patterns. So you've come in the lifetime that I feel that's most affecting you right now is that lifetime of being a teacher, a seer. I feel like you were born into a family. What I'm being shown, you may have been the only one. I get a lot with farming, and that may be why you like being outdoors, or you like nature, you like greenery, or maybe you garden. For some of you, it could have been European, could have been Ireland. The time that I'm picking up, 15th century is what I'm hearing. And you had a very close friend that was saying Spanish, a compadre, a soulmate, a very close, kindred soul that you, this is what I'm hearing, did magic with. Now you could have, I get energy with the elementals. Oh, look at this here. This is it, flow. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but she's holding something that almost looks like a fairy. I don't know if you can see it right here. So again, for some of you, even hearing what others are thinking but not saying. And you definitely had this gift in this lifetime that I'm picking up on. Now, how is that affecting you? Because you had to hide what you did. Your family wasn't embracing it. One person, and I do feel it could have been a grandmother. I get an older, it could have been an aunt, or even a friend, or like godmother or somebody. But I do feel like there was one person that had that gift and had to silence it, had to hold it back. And you were basically taught to care for the land, care for people, you know, like a householder, taking care of, you know, being part of the community. But you definitely had this gift, and you showed it to certain people, but you couldn't show it to a lot because it would have brought shame on the family and a lot of distrust and a lot of people fearing. So this lifetime, you're to call in people that get you. Call in your soulmate or soulmates, whether it's a partner that gets you, that you can be more your authentic self and share all aspects or all parts of you. So this particular lifetime is coming up, and it's caused a curse or a spell of holding oneself back and not fully being able to say what one truly thinks or feels or sees or hears. Like you have all this insight and this knowledge that you see, but you've been taught to hold it back, and you've held it back yourself, like doubt. Like, I don't know if that's real or if that's right, or I'm just not going to say anything. So for you, this is feeling healing. Oh, I just noticed this. Forgive your parents. Wow. As you forgive your family lineage. And this is your family lineage, your ancestors, but the ancestors of the collective of that time that didn't allow people to really be themselves, to be fully themselves, and to experiment and express. So you've had issues of not letting, not being able to show your true self or experiment the way that you want to, or experiment with life or certain paths or ideas or beliefs. You're deeply healing that right now, and let your friends help you. Now, this is connecting with the right people that are aligned to you on a soul level, where there's enough resonance where you can feel your true self and respond and be your true self. So I do feel with this soul group that you're really opening up more and more. And you had, a bit of a crossover, layover from this previous lifetime. And that also manifested through the family that you came through, the vehicles, the vessels that you came through. Some of you haven't felt like you fit in. And for some of you, it could have been because adoption, foster care, but you fit in more than you know, because it's not about, it never is about the bloodline. Our connection is beyond the bloodline. I mean, I've even worked with people that have been fostered or adopted, and I've done their charts, and they always have similar placements or signs highlighted, even if they're in different planets. Some could be in the same planet, or some are in different planets but the same house. So remember that you are energy, and I feel like this is what you're meant to know, that you are this energy. Your body temple. So a lot of you also had to hold back physically, or your body, something about holding your body back, or body needs, or what you wanted to do with the body. I do feel because of that, some of you are very much now into your body, adornment, maybe you know, makeup or tats. You like getting tattooed, or you know, body modification, or how you dress. And that's because you couldn't do it in this previous lifetime. I would look anywhere 15th, 16th century, around that, maybe 17th for some of you. The one that I hear the strongest is 15th century, 1501, 1592. That is the strongest that I'm getting for many of you. And I do feel you were more in a rural or farming or outlining area. Some of you did spend time in a city or going into a community of some sort. Connected to the energy that you are. I want to really say that. This is about connecting in with your embodiment of you. Okay, let's see if we have any tarot messages through the tarot. Let me see. I get this soul group is kind of very precise with your words. Like to think things through, feel things out. So from that previous life, there was a lot of censoring that came in. You learned to censor yourself. Now, whatever this curse is that you feel, this is completing at this reading. You've either already completed it, there's been a transformation. And again, it's coming in through the 12th house. So this tells me that you've known that a past life has affected you, that you have felt that there's a past life that affects you, or you've brought in a lot from a previous life. Now, some of this is amazing gifts that you've brought in, you know, the ability to connect in empathetically, to be an empath, to be compassionate, the ability to know what someone's thinking or feeling, the ability to know what's going to happen. What you need to work on, though, is also your voice, speaking more of your truth and speaking up without fear, because you couldn't do that in the previous life. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of heavy consequences to what happened to some people. Now, you're also to connect in, I just know the cosmic answer, voice your concerns. There we go again with the voice, authentic voice, and voice your concerns. And this is aquamarine. So now you can bring in your galactic aspect of being, your galactic insight and knowledge, your starseed insight and knowledge. It's safe for you to speak. It's safe for you to speak up. It's safe for you to speak again. So this knowledge that you've carried over that you weren't able for many lifetimes fully express, this is the lifetime to do it. This is what you've come in, and you've come in to teach people. Some of you could be singing or vocalizing. You're helping people express more of themselves more authentically, however that is. It could be through what they do, you know, in life, career, or within relationship, whatever it is. You're lifting that societal curse, and definitely that familial curse. But sometimes what happens is when we don't express an aspect of ourselves, it atrophies. And so we don't have as much or a connection to it, or we don't have a connection at all to it. Okay, let's see. Some of you, this is also due to religion or religious persecution. It has to do with beliefs also. So the curse of thinking limited or limiting what you can do in life, that is leaving. Well, 8 of Pentacles. Knave of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. 3 of Swords. Again, I say some people weren't accepting of you in that lifetime and this lifetime. So you've had some loss of friends, of family members, loss in close relationship. just speaking up. And so you're learning, you might even have a little crackling in the throat, you know, a little, or you feel like, wow, I'm becoming more me, you know, and I hope there are people out there that I can connect with. Oh, the moon. So you've got the High Priestess and the moon. So this lifetime for you is about a deep dive into the subconscious. Call it up through meditation. You can go to my website, soulplayground.life, and download for free. There's some meditations there. Any kind of meditation or visualizing, particularly early morning or during the moon, you know, when you can see the moon or the moon is prevalent, or at night. To just really reflect on what you couldn't do or how you couldn't speak up and how you're doing it now. Just envision yourself fully living yourself. Like, what do I really want to do? Or if you went through a situation, let's say, and you're like, God, I wish I would have said this, or I should have said this, or I wish I said this, or I wish I did this. Just relive it in your mind, doing what it is that you now want to do, and then feel a comfort into that, relax into that. You particularly would benefit from like resonance repatterning, hypnotherapy, somatic release work, as long as you get into the subconscious, meditation processes, sound healing with meditation, especially things like hypnotherapy, or where you're getting into the subconscious, even choosing, you know, tuning into something that you want to know about, or issue or a problem, or something, maybe a circumstance that you want what's right action to do, picking a tarot or an oracle card, and then just really contemplating and reflecting on it, because you have a lot of ancient wisdom within you that wants to come through that wasn't able to come through before. And I do feel for many of you, by what I'm seeing, is that even this lifetime you've been in situations where you can't fully be who you really are, or feel that you are. Five of Swords, yeah, doubt and negative expectation, see? So you're healing from this loss of yourself this lifetime. And then we have the Sun. Wow. The ability to shine, create what it is you want, live more of how you want. I do feel that many of you, either just by doing it, by example, you're teaching others, and some of you are formally teaching others what you learn, what you know, what you study. It's a very powerful time for you right now. Some of you are calling in a special person, a soulmate. That's what I call a create mate and life mate, a life partner. As you're healing these family issues, you are becoming more your true self. And as you become more your true self, you are attracting now much more consciously, much more abundantly, but you're attracting what is in the most resonance for you and the most coherence for you. United, you're aligned with your soul's mission. Yeah. All you've been doing is letting go of the past. You had to unwind for a lot. So I would say at this time of this reading, you either know that you are moving forward in your soul alignment, or you're about to. You have completed some family pattern, some ancestral patterning that, like I said, started around it could be earlier, but the lifetime I was getting is 1501 to 1592, and it's generational because I was seeing 1600, 1700, 1800. So it's a long-standing pattern. It could also be connected to status, or this is what the family does, or this is the right way, or the society, or our culture, our race, our religion. But you've come here to free up and teach others to do the same. Oh, heart energy. Pleiadian emissaries of light, ask for help. Show me we are here. That's, again, let your friends help you. So for you, asking for help, or praying, or asking your higher self, or God, or the universe, send me playmates, I want more fun, or send me that new job, or, because as you're shifting in resonance, getting more into your soul resonance, which you are, soul alignments, in your alignment with your mission, you're doing it. It's just you're winding out of this other lifetime. Oh, wow. Again, with the family, soul family, attracting soul family, awakening others, soul contracts. That's why, see, you've had this contract to help release this patterning on the earth plane. It's a family patterning, it's an ancestral patterning, it's a societal, it's a humankind patterning. And now it's about calling in your soul family, calling in your soul tribe, your soulmates, your soulmate that is a life mate, create mates, so that you can be in that rightful place and recognized for your insight, your wisdom, what you know, what you want to teach, what you want to share. This doesn't mean whatever you do. Some of you may say, well, I'm not really a teacher. It doesn't matter. You are teaching by example. And I do feel, even if you work, let's say, in a job or a corporation or something where you don't perceive it to be overtly spiritual, or being a healer, a teacher, or light worker, you are working your light. Remember that. You are working your light. Okay? You're carrying the light. And now it's about time to celebrate this light that is you. You're attracting the soul family, the soul tribe, so that you feel they get me, they know me, they've got me, I've got them. And so that is the deep healing from that lifetime. I'm going to pick one more card. I think that's going to be it for you. This is beautiful. You are that seer, you are that teacher. You have gifts, whether some of them is within you, some of you studied certain things and brought it out. Wow. Okay, the sun. Got it in this card too. So, beautiful soul light. Just shine, create, do what you want to do, join with others. Things are going to get better and better and a lot better for you. You're attracting more soul aligned people that you can be more and more you, the authentic you, the genuine you. And that lifetime and that curse, that patterning, that family, ancestral, societal, humankind patterning is lessening and lessening and lessening its grip. And because of that, you're going to be able to share so much more of you in your life at this time. Celebrate you. That's the message. Celebrate you. Celebrate your gifts. Celebrate that you're spirit informed, your spirituality. Celebrate being in a body. Enjoy your body, nurture your body, love your body, express through your body. Your Soul Insights mantra for this reading is I express my soul through body, mind. I share my light through my heart. That's it. That's it. Okay. Wow. Yeah, let yourself open. I feel like some of you are even having a Kundalini open. Oh, and this said hearth, but I saw it as heart. So for some of you, this is a Kundalini awakening or reawakening, or the Kundalini is getting activated again, but this time it's a lot through the heart because you're feeling a lot safer to experience and express you as you. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you much peace, light, and soul expression. Hello, Soul Light. If you chose Soul Story number 2, this is your reading. You chose Temperance. I love this Temperance card because there are wings. There is an angel. There's a guardian angel, or this could also be known as the angelic self, or the soul self, or the higher self. It could be looked at as a manifestation of the Merkaba. And Sagittarius has to do with this. So we're going to put out all the cards and see what is going on. We've got expansion in your life. So I feel like that's going to be something very important for you. And we've got vampire. Okay, well with temperance there, you're definitely working with energy. Oh, I got it already. Okay, let's see. We've got wind, which is very interesting because my shamanic name is Juana Cuatro Vientos. Juana Four Winds. Juana Cuatro Vientos. I'm definitely getting a very in beloved. I get a lot of, I get multiple lifetimes with you that are coming through this lifetime. So we're going to see. We've got desire, which is fire element, right? Fire element. Take a look at that card. And then you've got temperance. Sagittarius ruled, which is fire. Leo, I will. A lot of fire here. And when I look at the beloved card, this reminds me of fire also. The giveaway. Bodhisattva, awakening. Yeah, you've been here before, soul story number 2. You've been here a lot. You have other dimensional lifetimes, other planetary existences, but you have been here a lot. And I'm getting a lot with you with ancient Rome, Greece, and Egyptian time, and Babylonian time. So you have come in here working a lot with energy. Some of you have been through the time of Jesus, New Jesus. Some of you have traveled also to the Far East, or even this lifetime you've loved the Far East, and particularly I just heard Korea, China, I heard India. Some of you could have a guru or study with someone. Let's see, you've got here the sacred divinity, right? There are 2 paths ahead. Powerful. Secret temptation. That's all that fire. You've got a lot of fire, a lot of kundalini energy. Love and light, act with care. Now, I am definitely, well, we're going to see. Okay, then we've got job. Love what you do and do what you love. Some of you have a job, you want something else, or you want a job and you just want to travel and move around. Some of you want to move. You did have a lifetime, many lifetimes as being more nomadic, and especially I want to say the Babylonian time, I feel much more, or even ancient Persia. There's something special about your eyes. So I don't know if you're a seer, or if you have piercing eyes, blue eyes, or eyes that look through the soul. There's something special about your eyes, or the way you look, the way you gaze, or whatever you do to your eyes. Maybe it's makeup adornment, but there is something about your eyes, or connecting with your eyes. I can feel it. It's funny because I feel an energy in the heart chakra, but I'm also feeling the third eye, and specifically the eyes. Some of you do work with Tantra and freeing up. So you've been on a path, many of you, a long, long time, I feel. And I do feel that you've had a lot of relationships this lifetime, or you've been in some that there wasn't an even exchange of energy, or you were doing too much, or it could be that you're very in tuned, maybe an empath or psychic or intuitive, and you've gotten people that have been more takers. So you are reconnecting with your ability to be an alchemist. I do feel that you have come here back on this planet. You're able to take lower vibrational energy and transmute it through experience, expression, through dance, through art, through music, through conversation. So you are definitely a, I don't know if you can see that, you are definitely a transmuter of energy and also a transmitter. You can come in a room, there we go, and shift the energy. Some of you have done it kind of on purpose to get the flow back to you, or get the focus back on you, or to get something back. And some of you do it to balance out the energy. So think of a dancer or a gymnast or a piano player. There's a lot around you with harmony or harmonizing, maybe it's singing or art, or how you lay something out on the table, aesthetics, and also many of you have, what is it? You're able to hear certain sounds or tones, or your hearing is very acute. You know, you can hear things that other people can't hear, whether it's voices or sounds or notes. Some of you can just hear something and then sing it, or say something, or somebody says something and you can just remember it. Rest, Archangel Remiel, and Aragonite. I love Aragonite. Again, fire. Look at that color. Passion, purpose. You're very strong. Some people could say you're intense. And I feel it's because you bring a lot of this ancient energy with you, an ancient memory, just in your etheric field, subtle energy bodies, coming through the denser physical reality. It's in your cells. It's in the very energy of you. You're very much, people would call, quote unquote, old soul, even though souls don't age. But you have this deep wisdom, and you have sense of young child. And again, there's something with the eyes. You could just look at them, pierce through. What did I say about alchemy? Divine alchemy, ascended master Mary Magdalene. And didn't I say you were around with Jesus time? Aqua aura quartz, divine alchemy. This is Crystal Masters 333. So again, it's gathering with groups, gathering with people. So definitely around the time of, Mary Magdalene, Jesus. I'd said Jesus' time. You maybe even, worked with him or her. Or Virgin Mary, the Negrita. You definitely are an alchemist, and this proves it, the temperance here. So I feel like you worked a lot with magic and alchemy, healing, but also transmuting energy. So you could now be an energy worker. I feel like this past life is just flowing through you. Ascended Master Hilarion in green chrysoprase. Oh, discernment. Okay, that's also with the relations. So what you've had to learn this lifetime, because it's a very different lifetime, soul story number 2, is discernment in relationships with people, getting into certain relationships where maybe people pulled on you or took too much or wanted you to heal them, or they just weren't very healthy for you. The dynamic, the vampire, right? Whatever you want to look at it, there's psychological terms, there's personality disorder terms, you know what I'm talking about. So you have to learn spiritual discernment. So that's the one thing you didn't. Now, what I want to tell you is you didn't have to know that in the society that you came from, because for one, you didn't just attract those people. This time Earth is a bit different. You've also had quite a few lifetimes, intermittent, other planetary. So you are comfortable with your other dimensional selves or other planetary selves. You have memories of that. You're here to help people awaken. And you did that also in the previous life. Now, I'm really going back to, I want to say, Egyptian time. This is interesting, where you were betrayed. So that's the discernment. So there has been a lifetime where you were betrayed. So you could hold yourself back too much, or you could jump in and just say, oh, I should trust, this person, I met them through a friend and they're spiritual, or I met them in a group or online. So you're learning this lifetime a lot about discernment and about how other people's energy affects you and you affect other people's energy. You're learning that relationship is all about alchemy. If you're not studying alchemy, I would definitely study alchemy or any form of energetic transferring, healing through energy modalities, vibrational healing, vibrational medicine, anything that has to do with harmonizing and or movement that does that, because everything is alchemy. We eat something, it alchemizes, it changes our system. You have caffeine, that's an alchemy. What is that going to do to the system? I can't tolerate caffeine very well, so I drink decaf. But every now and then, if I do have something caffeinated, like a coffee or tea or chai that has caffeine, I can feel it changing the chemistry of my body. So you have a lot this lifetime with chemistry with people. You're very dynamic, you're very charismatic. You're also drawn to people like that. Get a lot of fiery energy with you. You're learning discernment, to discern what's right for you, what's actually on your path, what's aligned from in the heart and soul, what's attuned to the heart, aligned to the soul. And if you're having to give or to do too much. Let's look at some areas of your life that are being affected. 9th house, broadening your horizons, spiritually, academically, or going on a journey. Well, this is the house of Sagittarius, the 9th house, Jupiter. So you could love to travel. Again, I'm getting a lot, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, Roman times, Babylonia, maybe Mesopotamia either, and then again the time of Christos, the Christ consciousness, being embodied on the planet. You could have studied with him, or studied with him even in India, or been around disciples or people that studied with him. But you're going before him too. So I also am getting energy of Atlantean time. Then we've got 10th house, your achievements and status in the outside world. So you're definitely here to do something big and you have a big idea to put things out into the world, to be in a leadership position and help with awakening. Now that you could be, I don't know, president, a CEO, a teacher, a secretary, whatever it is that you're doing, you always tend to be in some kind of leadership position. People ask for your opinion. What should I do? How should I do this? What should we do? Some of you, this could manifest through children. But for many of you, I feel that you are a leader in your own right. You're connected to your own inner authority, and you are a leader in some group. Some kind of group capacity is what I'm hearing and being shown. I see this spiral of light, or this circle of light, and you're in the center, and there's all these connections. So you could be a bit of a networker, or bringing people together, working within community. Vesta, the goddess within, your spiritual sacred center, your sacred spiritual center, and quiet dignity. Because look at the eyes. You know that you know. You know that you know. Most of you do not get pulled off track. I think the one thing that tripped you up was perhaps relationships, or getting involved with people or situations where there wasn't really even exchange of energy, or people took too much energy or plugged into you. So a lot of you are getting wise to that. Some of you are already wise to that. But look at the eyes. You have that knowing. You could have Scorpio in your chart. You could have Scorpio rising. You just know that you know. Or Pluto conjunct your sun, or Pluto conjunct Mercury or something. There's a very strong scorpionic or Plutonian aspect to you that has to do, and also a lot to do with Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. So a lot to do with spirit, spirituality, higher philosophy, using the higher mind. You could help people or teach. I do get a lot of entrepreneurial energy. So if you're working with a job, or you're looking for a job, you're going to get one. But perhaps many of you have a job and you want something more, you're doing something on the side. All right, in the romance angel cards, we've got getting to know each other. So I wanted to pull in a little bit of the energy around relationship. Separation. And let go of control issues. Well, sometimes when we know a lot, it's hard not to say a lot. So I do get with you because you are used to manifesting a lot. Some of you are wanting to manifest a person, what I call a soulmate, that's a life mate. And it hasn't come about. Now, if you're already in a relationship, there is something about, again, the temperance, which is managing the energy to not overdo, to overhelp or make something happen. And that's the letting go of the control issue, that you have to do it all on your own, or you have to be the one that helps, or that people have to get their information from you or their insight from you. For a majority of you, I feel there's been a lot of separation in relationship, either a lot of start-stop relationships or relationships that only went so far. And you're wanting that next level of relationship that doesn't end this lifetime, right? So there has been a lot of separation, and that is because of the alchemical energy of this, the vampire of you overdoing or overgiving, or getting with people that are taking energy from you. So there could have been this kind of dependent personality, you know, codependent, or again, the what do we want to call it? The healer, empath, psychic, and the person with the personality disorder, what we call it, you know, narcissistic. Some of you very, you know, malignant. Some of you have really gotten into some situations that you wondered, how the heck did I get here? How did this happen? So it's being more in touch with the energy that you are and the energy of another person and where that energy intersects. And in a sense, we all are just vessels for source energy, vessels for God energy, the higher self expressing an experience in different ways. So it's to remember to get your energy from source energies. Make sure you rest enough, that you don't overdo or over push, whether it's for yourself or for someone else. And remember that other people have their own source energies. I do feel for this particular lifetime I'm tapping into that a lot of people came to you all the time. That was your role. And back then, you really kind of had only one role, you know, within the family, within the community. But this lifetime, there are a lot of roles that you have, a lot of ways expressing and experiencing. So Spirit wants you to open up, and your higher self wants you to access other aspects of you, other parts of you. And for you, being in the wind, being around nature, being air, make sure you have enough air circulation in your home, your apartment, your house, whatever. That air circulation is really important for you in getting fresh air. Some of you may feel a sensitivity to wind on you or air that's directly on you. And that's because you need to build up your surface chi. You need to build up the aura, build up, because again, you take on a lot of energy from other people. That's this vampire, right? Yeah. This could be around people with constant complaining or codependency. Now, for some of you, that might have been you growing up. Maybe that's how you were, and you've learned from that. You've awakened. Others, I feel like it's the message for you to discern, is this person or is this situation right for me? You know, we all want to complain a little bit. I feel like nothing's bad unless it becomes chronic in a non-healthy way. But you've got to start bringing in this discernment, because I feel like you were trying to help people by listening, and it was just draining your energy. You need to pull back or take a break or take a rest, or just cut the conversation short, or just limit the time with people that are complaining a lot around you or pulling on you. And watch for that part within you if you have that part that's complaining. Because when we're complaining, we're trying to control the situation. That's really what the complaining is. We're trying to control it through complaining. So I always say 3-minute rule, 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, you know, how to focus on something. Okay, there's something about dawn, either your name's Dawn or rising. There's something about getting up at dawn, doing something at dawn. Some of you may be involved in ritual, magic and ritual, or you have a certain ritual that you like to follow that grounds you, supports you, centers you on your path. You are the alchemist, a bit of an alchemist, a magician. You work energetically. You're very sensitive to energy, your own and other people's. And I feel like you need to learn how to take care of yourself through your energy. Wow, this is too strange. Because soul story number 1 got this, 8 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of people, and then you got the stars. Okay, a lot of people healing. So you could be learning something new and teaching. Got the Queen of Pentacles, so rejuvenating. Wow, Temperance again, look at that. So you chose the Temperance card, and now it's come in again. So to underscore, you're learning to have balance in all that you do, what you eat, what you drink. Balance is important to you, energetic balance. Be balanced, balanced in your words. There's also this alchemical balance within yourself, within your inner masculine and inner feminine. So it's not about overdoing, and it's not about holding back or yielding, the yin energy, not being too yang and not being too yin. So it is about this balance for you. And then you've got the flower of life here, expansion in your life, creation. And so balance, yin and yang energy, or masculine and feminine energy, are the cornerstones of creation. So you are definitely a creator, very creative. You work with energy. I feel like whatever you do has your energy in it, energy through it. Some of you, I'm seeing like a big salad or meal that you're making, and it's just so good, so nourishing, so nurturing. And I feel like your friends, maybe even family, say, oh, this is just like you, or this is so good, you know, this is what they would make. So Temperance here, very important. You've got, so that to me is underscoring to remember that you do have these two aspects of yourself, the part that needs to rest, the part that needs to take time off, the part that wants to activate. It's about keeping it in balance for you. And that's in relationships. And this is about attracting more balance. Wow, brings the 10 of Cups, the Holy Grail. So mental, emotional balance, spiritual balance, nurturing your spirit. And to recognize, even though you have these amazing gifts in your life, these soul gifts, and you're aware of them, or you see things, you don't always have to say something. You don't always have to comment. You can leave something unsaid, or you can say it another time. Wow, there it is. Look at that. Snake. Oh, snake and storm. Or the wind. Clearing the air, getting rid of the confusion. So snake energy, again, is about alchemy. It's about a transformation. Shedding the skin, that's an alchemical process. So you could be going through a deep alchemical process right now, or coming out of one, or a dark night of the soul. You could have snake medicine personally to you, where you work a lot with Kundalini energy or creative energy, or you're recreating or creating your world, reinventing. The snake has to do with shedding the skin, the old, and moving into a new area of life, following a new direction in your life as well. Let's look at the soul purpose. Wow. Just ancient energy, ancient wisdom from you. And this beautiful energy of alchemy. I feel even like some of you could work with energy, like hands-on healing, or just through touch. There's a calming energy. Ascendant, you agreed to assist in Earth's ascension. There it is. What did I tell you earlier? Awakening and ascension. And look at the clouds. So there's a lot with you, with the heavenly bodies, bringing heaven on earth. Yeah, you came back to help with the ascension and the awakening. And ascension is just rising above the extremes of duality, which of course is the 9th house, getting the higher perspective, the more philosophical or spiritual perspective, the more enlightened perspective. 3rd house in astrology is more everyday or mainstream awareness or consciousness, and that kind of communication what is local to us. And the ninth house is what is at a distance or foreign or ascended, or the higher mind, divine mind, or non-local mind. So if the third house is local, the ninth house is non-local. So you're definitely tapping into that, and you're a master at that. You've done that through these lifetimes. So you've come back with a lot of information. I feel like a lot that you study or read or whatever you're learning or studying now is triggering ancient memory, these other lifetimes of working with energy, of being this alchemist, of working deep on healing, working with transformative energies, whatever it is you're transforming, whether it's a person, a situation, a company, a career, a job, a circumstance, your body, your mind, your very own being. You work with these transformative energies. So your help came back to help awaken and to help in the ascension, to get people out of the extremes of duality, out of the extremes of the earth plane. Very beautiful. Let's see. Okay, wow. Some of you, I just get this quiet calm with you. You can definitely be active and going and creating and movement and travel and here and there. There's a lot of energy and hustle bustle. But when you decide to rest or you decide to take some time out, you're able to do that. And some of you, there is definitely a beloved. Now, I'm not going to, okay, I am going to do this because I didn't want to take this many, but it says say no, cut cords, release guilt. That again is the discernment. So again, you're learning to cut cords, move on, and not stay stuck in patterns with people or in situations or jobs or careers that are no longer serving you and that are taking too much from you, that are draining you, draining your energy. So this is about releasing guilt that I have to do this or I have to help them, whatever it is. Andromeda, allow yourself to receive. Yes, that's the balancing point for you, the receiving. Rest and let it come to you. 12th dimension, instant creation, cosmic consciousness. That's what you're tapping into. Yeah, you're very much bringing a higher vibrational frequency into the body. You're embodying it and bringing it into the earth plane. Beautiful. Wow, radiant soul light. Very, very beautiful. Wow. So not only have you been here before, multiple times before, but you have wandered and lived through different parts of the galaxy. You have a connection to this inner knowing, this wisdom within you. And you are here to share it. You are here to partake of life in a leadership capacity, to really be that leader that you are and really step into that. You're in a next time of expansion and you're funneling all those energies through you as you, the universal energies showing up through your soul as you. All right, your Soul Insights mantra is, okay, let's see. I rest in and express through the divine alchemy that is the nature and energy of my soul as me. Hello, soul story number 3. If you chose the star card, this is your card, and this is your reading. Hello, soul light. If you chose the star card, this is your reading. All right, let's see. We've got the star, a lot with health and healing. I feel like for you, a lot of health and healing and moving onward. I'm going to show you the cards, lay them out, and then open the channel to begin to get the messages. Gold, cup of replenishment. Love that. That seems to be very important. Okay. Archetype advocate inspires you to put compassion in action. Okay. So I definitely get this as the healers of the bunch. I can really feel that you do a lot with healing, maybe even cognitive therapies or talk therapy, maybe hypnotherapy. I feel like you, no matter what position you're in, career-wise, job-wise, you're always the intermediary, you're always in between, you're always trying to mediate. You know, you've done that in your family, you've done that your whole life. Some of you are advocates for pets. So I am getting a lifetime, and I'll see if I can get the time frame. But I definitely see like being in a cloister with a habit. So I am getting a lot of nuns and monks, like religious order or spiritual order. You come in very strongly with that energy. Very devout, very disciplined. I do feel some of you lived on an island, maybe you do now, but one of these cloisters or one of these monasteries was on, I can see the waves crashing, was on some kind of island, and you were baking bread. You made bread and foods and things to sell off the island. Okay, so we'll get more into that. We've got the sun, the lower world, wow, and the hummingbird. Mystic, what did I say? Very devoted, and this says devotion, beauty. Yeah, you've definitely done a lot with group work, community, like handcrafting, artisan energy to sell, to obviously to live with the proceeds, but also that goes back to the group, the monastery, the church. Getting a lot to do with devotion, spiritual devotion. Some of you could be very devoted right now spiritually, or you're devotees. Maybe you do kirtan or chant. It's a lot to do with ritual and devotion. Meditation. Improvements require persistent, meditator, prayer, meditation, devotion. Very strong spiritual path here I'm getting, or spiritual practice. Energy signature, the past is in the present. Oh yes, that's why we're doing this past life. Which past life is affecting you the most? I do get Templars, Knights of the Round Table. I'm hearing 12th century. I am also hearing 1000 BC, 12,000 BC also. So I'm getting a long lineage with you. Even from foraging in the earth, in the forest. You've lived very tribally, so I don't know if you maybe even come from a big family now, or you have a wide circle of friends, or you have a community, a big community, or you're longing for that because you're missing that. Mars, your physical energy drives strength and fighting spirit. And then we've got the sun, your immortal spirit, purpose and destiny is involved. Yes. Okay, so I'm getting a couple things. Here from you, which means I didn't do with the other groups, but I am going to pick runes because I am also getting a very strong Scandinavian or Nordic energy. The Norse tradition, rune and fighting coming over from Germanic tribes, Dane, over into England also. So some of you, and there is this hybrid I'm hearing from these people with the star people. So some of you also have indigenous or first peoples energy. Now I didn't realize this, but I guess some of the Germanics also is a hybrid kind of situation. So you've got the sun twice. So a lot of masculine energy in this group, a lot of yang energy, a lot of doing stuff out there in the world, especially also with Mars. So you could feel like there's big changes in your life, energy signature. You're here to work also with energy, transmissions, putting something out there in the world, being very active in the world. You're meant to be very active in the world. 8th house, transformational area of your house, shared resources and intense emotions. Well, this is deep psychological and spiritual work, emotional work. It's also the house of the mystic, right? Ruled by Pluto, Scorpio, esoteric ruler Mars. Mars can be the 1st house, but it activates the 8th house also. So there's a lot with deep psychic work, psychic ability, the ability to transform on a deep level. Some of you could even work energetically, like with Tantra or Kundalini energy. I'm getting a lot with Tantra and Kundalini energy all the way through. And we've got the 7th house. Well, this is significant partnerships, relationships. Again, some of you could be counselors, therapists, life coach, spiritual life coach, coaches of all kinds, some kind of intermediary. You could be a lawyer, and you know, any kind of advocate, anybody that's working more one-on-one. Or even if you work for a company or some kind of group, you deal a lot one-on-one. Or some of you write, and of course, an individual is going to read that. And then we've got Chiron, your healing power, empathy, and the ability to teach or learn remedies. I think I said earlier, I definitely felt you were the healers, very traditional healers here. 1st house, what people see and the impression you get. Well, I had said the body. Okay, let's see here. Drop into the deep end of your soul, falling. Well, some of you want to. There's a lot of heady or thinking. Some of you are very much in your body, or some of you use your body a lot, but you're not dipping into it. You need to get into it more of how it feels and what it needs. But I do feel that a lot of you are very much working galactically. There's a lot of galactic energy in this bunch. And that's because you continually incarnate as some type of, you're having a spiritual renaissance, I heard, renaissance. You're having a spiritual renaissance. So every incarnation, you're bringing in more spiritual energy, you're getting less and less diluted spiritually. You're getting more and more potent. And you do have that ability to help others to feel this or understand this. So you've been here many lifetimes, helping with the discipline, spiritual discipline. Now, this could be discipline in anything, or a how-to. It could be a how-to book, how-to manual, ebook, videos, how to do this, or what does this mean? So you're very good at explaining things to people. Then we've got relief and repair, Ascended Master, Mataji, and Crimson Culprite. Well, repairing again, healing. So it could be repairing relationships that are broken and you want to talk it out, or you put a plan together. You do like systems, you do like things in place, and you do like coming up with systems. And we've got Heavenly Mercy, Angel Uziel, and Smoky Quartz, getting clarity. So mercy, relief, and repair. So look at that. You're bringing mercy and relief, repair. You're making things better, whether it's better communication, or you seek to have situations made better or made whole, or to repair what was broken. Now, for any of you, this could be getting joy out of actually fixing things, you know, because I do feel that whatever you've learned there's a system or approach or a way to do it. I don't know why I'm seeing, maybe because of the hummingbird, I'm seeing like a bird cage that's broken, and somebody's repairing it, or somebody's making a bird feeder, let's say out of wood, a little wooden bird feeder, and they're taking, the wood, and they're sanding it down, and they're nailing it together, or whatever, however you put it together, or glue it together. So ritual and systems are very important to you to keep your life going. It taps you into these other lifetimes where you had a very ritualized way of living. So this could be a regime, how you get up in the morning and what you do. What is the ritual that you do? If you don't have that ritual, you can feel off. You can feel not in the right, not in alignment. Okay, so really important for you. Chiron, healing. What did I say about the healer? So healing is balance. Healing comes from the Old English word ohalen, to make whole. It also comes from integris, integrity. So all parts equally there, or there in a way that brings wholeness or symmetry, some kind of alignment. So this is your life, and you do it in a very measured way. It could be through art or music. It could be through beauty. It could be, you want to have harmony. You want harmony in your relationships. You want to bring harmony. You want to be the harmonizing principle in your relationships. Nature is great too. And there, you're the mystic. You're very much the mystic. You're devoted to the mystical, the magical, the spirit, the spiritual. So you have a way of doing things, a certain ritual, maybe a certain way of eating. You get very ritualized with what you do. You probably find yourself eating a certain way forever and ever and ever, or you get a certain way of eating for a while, and then you get in another way of eating. So you just want to make sure things don't get too rigid, but you do want to celebrate and tap into the ritual of life, or rituals for you is really good. Like, what do you do when you get up? How do you transition through your work day to your rest day, or weekend, or how do you have me time? All these things are important to you. What are the rituals that you do? Is it candle lighting? What does that do for you? Is it the ritual through astrology, reading the lens of life through the astrology? 10th house, the world. Put your creations out there into the world, or your way of seeing, your way of doing things. Now we're going to look at finance and career. Financial issues or factor in your career right now. Okay, one of the things I do see with you, soul story number 3, that you have to be aware of is that you're living in a different time. So there may be certain things you have to be flexible on within your ritual or way of doing things, or the way that things manifest. Because there are certain things you may not like to do or want to do, and then you just let them go, or you procrastinate, or you don't get that job because you really don't want to do that. Now, I'm not saying to do something you don't want to do, but sometimes we need to take a position, a certain job or career direction temporarily until we bridge to what we more want to do. And it's keep an open mind. Again, that has to do with the ritual. So the past life for you that gets in the way is this monastery. Maybe you like quiet at a certain time. Maybe certain music or sounds bother you, or you need time to refuel, or busyness of life gets in the way and you don't like it, or you don't like being in the city, or when it's too noisy, or maybe for some of you, you're like, I like the hum of busyness, or I like people around me doing things, because then I feed off of that, or I get that, I tune into that, I get that energy. Sometimes there is a delight, like when you go out to eat or something, you're at a cafe and you see people back and forth, going on the street, or you look out your window and maybe in a big city and there's a hustle bustle of the city, but you're kind of quiet and peaceful. So you have a way of looking at things. You could be a poet. You could like to sum up things through words, movement, dance. But like in dance, there's steps, right? There's a certain way you step. Like if I'm moving this way, I'm not going to jerk that way. I might move this way and then that way. So you do have to follow this natural rhythm that you have. It's very important. But you also need to keep an open mind about people and situations. Let things play out more. Many of you are going to be involved with someone, or you are already, and it's going to a new level. And again, that a ritual of engagement. So you like things that are ritual. Some of you could be a certain status, or like chronological. This is the next step. You like the steps. You like the steps of how things unfold. It makes you feel comfortable inside, and you feel a sense of security in understanding, well, what's the next step, or this is the next step, and then you know what to expect or what to do. So there is a next step for many of you. You're either calling in a relationship that goes into some kind of formal partnership, whether that is business, collaboration, or for many of you, it's going to be some kind of personal relationship, romantic relationship that goes in the steps of dating and engagement and living together and or marriage. And you're being asked to keep an open mind as to this person that's coming in. In general, you're being asked to keep an open mind. And for many of you, it's building up your finances and focusing on your career, getting out there more into the world. Because part of you, you have a time, I'm surprised the Hermit didn't come up. Let's look at tarot, because a lot of what I see, you're in a cloister, you're in a monastery, you're in an ashram, you're in a cave in the Himalayas. You like to withdraw, pull back. You like the hermit. You like to go in your cave. People bring you out. Sometimes I see you out and about walking or doing stuff, or taking a drive or traveling, but a lot of you do a lot on your own, or you could say alone. You don't mind your own company. Now, many of you want to share that, or some of you are with someone that understands that you like your own company. And again, this goes back to the lifetimes, not just one lifetime, but the lifetimes of being a monk, being a nun. I don't know if priest, could be priest, but I definitely hear monk, nun, monastery, cloister, Himalayans, being in a spiritual order. Some of you could have been in cult last lifetime or this lifetime. So a lot to do with other people and organizations with a shared purpose and mission that is very spiritual or focused on healing. Now, some of you could also have worked in hospitals or some kind of healing center or clinic, or maybe you do now. So a lot to do with healing, bringing spiritual energy to people, sharing your spiritual light, your spiritual insight, your spiritual awareness. One more shuffle. Wow, the world. But there you are in the center, in gold or yellow. So you may not always feel like you fit in, or you might be in the world and then you got to go back home and cloister, or go back to your retreat center, or go back to your house or apartment in the mountains, or you see what I'm saying? So that's the lifetime. That gets in the way sometimes, but it is also where you heal, you replenish. So I feel it's about embracing that part of you. So you've got the world, and then you've got death. And Six of Cups, which is the past life, children, memories. So a lot of you working perhaps, again, hospitals, death, dying, working with sickness, illness. That can be your greatest teacher this lifetime is illness, either experiencing it or helping others around with that. Mental, emotional plight is what I'm hearing. Some of you, this is also about moving on, like you've completed a cycle. There it is, the Knave of Chalices. The challenge is to move on, to be able to move on to what now really connects to your spirit, what you feel good about, what makes your heart sing, what attunes you to your heart, aligns you to your soul. So some of you could have children. There's a move. I definitely feel that there's some kind of big rebirth that you're involved in. And many of you may be coming out of a dark night of the soul, or you're coming out of a time period where you've been more held back or cloistered. And in some ways it might have felt like stagnation, or like you wanted to go forward, but a part of you really didn't want to, that you just really wanted to stay within, you know, and not have to do too much or to pull back into yourself. So there is a lot of change coming up for you in this next cycle that I feel that has you needing to keep an open mind. You might be around more people than what you're used to, or different types of people, or you could be traveling more. You're not going to lose the monk part of you, the nun, the monk, the priest, the healer, the spiritualist, the spiritual seer and connector. That part is such a part of you in your ritual, but you are going to be opening up more. And there we are, Knave of Pentacles, so Page of Pentacles. So something new coming in, it's just beginning. Could be information, insight, new direction. It's something that brings in a lot of emotional fulfillment. And I'm hearing just be you, just be you. I mean, you may go out a lot or connect with someone and then say, well, I need some downtime. Wow, and then you got the Star, which you have the Star here. So healing is very important for you. And I do feel like there's a renewal of hope and healing, and a lot of it has to do with your personal ritual, your spiritual practice, your spiritual path, getting that holy grail of love, cup of replenishment. This is about, so some of you could have been a bit cloistered, or maybe you're coming out of a deep healing phase, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. Some of you physically could have come out of illness, but your ability to go within or pull back has greatly helped you. So look for more fulfillment in your life, people and situations that are more fulfilling. If you're looking for a job or making job change or career change, there is much more fulfillment coming for you. This is a time for you to be the star of your own life and shine your light, and to be out there in the world more. This is a time to be out there in the world more, shine your light, share your insights, and keep awake. That's what I always say on my podcast, but really it is a time for you to, you know, put your creative works out there, your projects, your ideas, gather with others, but know that you are going to have a part of you that maybe some people don't see, even the people closest to you. There's a secret, hidden, replenishing part of you. There's a part that is you, and sometimes I feel like you've tried to share that part, but you really can't. It's like undescribable. It's the part of you being with you. It's the part of you connecting with you, your own nature, your own spiritual nature. It's you communing with you. So we never, no matter how long people know each other, they could be knowing each other 30, 40, 50, 60 years, or married, you know, many, many years. And there's always going to be parts that don't get shown or don't get revealed because it's not part of the exchange. It's not part of the dynamic. Crystal activator. You intuitively connect with and receive information from crystals. I would believe that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely you do. I'll put that there. So you are this activator, but it's also because of your spiritual path, right? Let's see what the runes have to say. Brado and Perthos, secrets. It's also opening, but secrets being revealed, or some things that we just won't know. And Rado is about travel. It's about attunement. And then we've got Ken or Kano, which is openings. So you are attuning or writing your higher self to lower self, this past life or past lifetimes to this lifetime, and I feel you're embracing this part of you where you're understanding that I don't have to try to share everything. If something comes up, I can share it, but you don't have to try to do this. If there's going to be parts of you that are secret to you, that are kept to you, that are special to you, ascended, you agree to return to assist in Earth's ascension. Yeah, you're bringing your spiritual practice, your spiritual knowledge. Some of you are great astrologers, I feel. Some of you work with sound, music. You have quite a career now, or that you're putting together, that is helping the earth. Wow. What did I say? High priest. Wisdom keeper of records, Akashic records, masculine, balanced, and rising. The priest, the high priest, high priest, high priestess. This is the sacred spirituality that is centered. The priest, the nun, the monk. This is the one that intermediates between worlds. Could be the shaman also for you. Could be the shaman. You're helping others connect to their spirit and their spirituality. You use your spirituality religiously. And you help people understand the mysteries of life. And that's what you did before. Wow, okay. You've got swan, which is that grace. And links. Links has to do with mystery, secrets, the links. The power and the mystery. We can never fully know God or the all that is, right? We can never fully know the all that is, or even ourselves, because we're always unfolding. We're awakening more and more. We're in our becoming. So you help people navigate through this. And swan, mates for life. And this is about grace, receiving grace, imparting grace. Remember that you hold the grace within. All right, so light, let's see. Your Soul Insights mantra to support you in this reading. Woo! I am the embodiment of spirit in being and action. I live in a state of grace. Wow, okay. Yeah. A lot of energy here, a lot of otherworldly energy, a lot of past lives coming together, a few themed past lives coming together this lifetime. All right, let me know how this resonates for you. Much peace, soul light, and radiant soul expression to you.